Welcome to Cadwell Park. We're here at Cadwell Park in Lincolnshire. It's known as the mini Nürburgring and it's one of my favourite tracks on the calendar for that very reason. There's the famous mountain section, but really the entire track is like one big roller coaster from start to finish. There's very little chance to have a break between corners. It's very physical to drive, and especially since we removed the power steering from the car, it's just very, very tiring. We had some great results when we were here last year, with 3 top 10 results and even starting pole position for the final race. So hopefully we can replicate some of those results this year. We're back to the normal format this weekend, so we've got quali and race 1 on Saturday, with race 2 and 3 on Sunday. Next up, we've got quali. So as we've just seen in quali, ended up P16 for race 1 and race 2. Very disappointed with that result. We didn't change anything between testing and quali, but the car felt very different to drive. It went from being quite neutral with a little bit of understeer to very oversteery, and I was just struggling to put a lap together. We did manage to make some adjustments during the session, which helped a lot, but at that point I was just overdriving the car, making mistakes, and the end result was P16. At any other track, that wouldn't be such a big deal. We can go racing from there, but Cadwell Park is notorious for being difficult to overtake, as we're about to see in race 1. Race 1 went really well, right up until it didn't. Had a great start off the line, but couldn't really make anything of it. From there, I just glued myself to the green car in front and spent most of the race trying to get past him. It's difficult to overtake here, and he did a good job of defending, but eventually I managed to send it around the outside of turn 1, made the move stick and gapped him. With 1 or 2 laps of the race remaining, I thought I had it in the bag, and then disaster struck. Going around this really fast section of track, Initially I thought I had a puncture and I could limp it to the end, and then realised pretty quickly it was something more terminal. Something failed at the rear of the car and it just would not drive straight. It was sliding everywhere and I had to park up and retire the car. It's the first DNF of the year, which kind of sucks, but we've been pretty lucky up until now. Next up, we've got race 2, where we can try it all again, starting from P16, and hopefully this time we can make it to the end of the race. That's race 2 all done. Just like race 1, had a cracking start, and this time tried to not let myself get boxed in. Went for a cheeky little move around the outside of turn 1 on the grass, which was never going to work, but it was worth a try. And from there, had a healthy gap to the car behind and was on the back of a group in front, which meant that I could just focus on putting in clean laps and let them battle and take themselves out, which they did, which allowed me to move up from P16 to a top 10 finish. That means for race 3, I'm starting in P9 in a reverse grid race, which usually involves a lot of pushing and shoving at the start as the faster drivers try to move back to the front. So let's see how we get on. That concludes the final race of the weekend, and after a great start of making up a couple of positions, it just became an incredibly intense 20-minute race. Running around in 7th for quite a lot of it on the back of the lead pack, it just got hotter and hotter in the car, and as the race went on, I just started to make more and more mistakes and just slowly drop down through the order. I ended up P11, and honestly I was just quite relieved to see the checkered flag at the end. Results-wise, it's not quite as strong as when we were here last year, but really it's always just amazing fun to race here. Next up in a month's time, we've got Donington Park.